Hi everybody, it's Moe Franklin. I'm here as your real estate guide to home ownership. You know, when me and my wife first started our journey, there were some things that we knew that we needed to address that kind of had kept us from actually obtaining the American dream. And so I'm here to share some things with you that I think are important before you call the loan officer, before you contact the realtor. These are things I think that are foundational to just getting in the mindset and preparing yourself to obtain home ownership. I call them the promised land principles. And so I think it's important to know that home ownership is extremely important. You know, we all talk about generational wealth. And there was a Yahoo article that came out in 2022 that talked about the difference in net worth of someone who owned a home and someone that didn't own a home, that was a renter, was about $386,000. Yeah, you heard that number correctly. In other words, a homeowner is worth about $396,000, and a renter's net worth is worth about $10,000. And so, with that being said, some of the foundational principles, I think, to creating wealth is to purchase your first home. We know there's a lot of, additional teachings on investing in property and investing in other, stock, investing in the digital market, all these different things. But I can tell you this, is that your home, that, where you stay, where you live, your housing is an expense you're going to already spend. It's money that's already going to come out of your pocket after the age of 18 or 21, whenever you leave your parents' home. And so you might as well leverage the money you're spending on a monthly basis towards building equity and building generational wealth. So the first thing that I feel, or that I want to talk to you about, is something that's not new. These are foundational principles found in the Word of God and other wisdom books. And the first thing that I want to talk to you is a good name. A good name. Whoa, what does that have to do with home ownership in 2024? Well, you know what? In this complicated, updated, fast-paced, and moving world, your good name has turned into a social security number. Why? Because there's probably a million John Smiths. And so they need to know exactly who this John Smith is. And so your social security number certainly identifies you uniquely from everybody else. And that is tied to what? That is tied to your credit. The first thing that you need to really make your mind up about on your home ownership journey is making sure that you go reclaim your good name. You need to know that it says that a good name is worth more than riches. That still holds true today. If you reclaim credit, people will lend you hundreds of thousands of dollars because you have demonstrated that you are a stand-up person, a person that can be trusted with money. Now, the second thing that I feel is extremely important in this pre-mindset that I'm talking about, this is before we even make the first call, is principle number 2, count the cost. Well, what do you mean by count the cost? There's two things that come in counting the cost, and I think they're foundational to obtaining home ownership. Is that the Bible talks about that if a man wants to build a tower, so let's bring that 2024, if you want to build a home or buy a home, that he needs to count the cost of what it takes to build it. So in other words, there's two things that needs to address. The first thing is you need to learn how to budget. There's something when you're buying a home, it's a term you'll need to know. It's called your debt to income ratio, your DTI. It is really just a ratio that says based on how much you earn that you are able to really control how much you spend. And then the second thing that is addressed in Count the Cost is savings. You know, if you're going to purchase a house, a lot of times lenders are going to want skin in the game. They're going to want you to put down a certain percentage of what that house costs. And so it's important for you to understand you're going to have to learn how to budget, and you're going to have to learn how to save money so that you can have your down payment to be able to go along with the finance process. And then the third thing that I think is really essential to being successful in your home ownership journey, and let's just talk a bit about that. You know, it can be frustrating, it can be difficult, it can be overwhelming to some people. And I can tell you that it's important that even if you have not been successful in the past, it's important to start that journey today, because you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family to really make the wise choice on building wealth and starting doing that with home ownership. The third thing is to get understanding. Well, what do you mean by that, Mo? Well, what I mean is that you need to understand the process. And it's important to understand the process. You know, the Bible talks about that it's best to know the ending from the beginning. And so you need a guide. You need somebody who has traveled along the path, traveled along that journey, already possessed the map that is going to take you from where you are now to where you want to be, and that you become a homeowner. And so it's important that you get somebody who's able to navigate you through the ups, the downs, through the pitfalls, through the snares, through the things that can really get you and hinder you from becoming a homeowner. So these are three things I just wanted to share with you today. I'm excited to be your guide, to help you on your home ownership journey. You know, the number one asset in the average person's portfolio. It's not a blue chip stock. It's not digital currency. It's not, you know, some exotic thing. It's their own home. And so, again, excited to be a help and to serve. I'm Moe Franklin, your real estate guide, and we'll talk to you soon.